The world of defense strategy recently saw a significant announcement. On May 20th, 2025, US President Donald Trump unveiled a highly ambitious project known as the Golden Dome. This missile defense system aims to create a comprehensive protective shield over the United States. The announcement immediately captured global attention due to its sheer scale and bold objectives. It signals a potential major shift in American defense posture, reminiscent of past grand strategic initiatives, but tailored for the complexities of 21st century warfare. The project is clearly intended to be a cornerstone of Trump's national security agenda during his potential second term, reflecting a proactive stance against perceived escalating threats. The primary objective of the Golden Dome is remarkably encompassing. It is designed to counter a wide array of next-generation aerial threats. These include not only traditional ballistic missiles and cruise missiles, but also advanced hypersonic weapons. Furthermore, the system aims to intercept fractional orbital bombardment systems, or FOBs, which are capable of delivering warheads from space. The overarching goal is to safeguard the US mainland from foreign missile strikes, regardless of their launch origin, even extending this protective umbrella to include threats emanating from space. This represents a significant expansion of previous missile defense concepts, aiming for near-total invulnerability. Overseeing this monumental undertaking will be Space Force General Michael Goettlein. He has been appointed to lead and manage the project, a choice that underscores the critical role of space-based assets in this new defense architecture. General Goettlein will be working alongside other key figures in the defense establishment. These include Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and the head of the Space Force, General Chance Saltzman. Their collective expertise will be crucial in navigating the complex technological, logistical, and strategic challenges that such a vast project inevitably entails. The leadership structure indicates a strong commitment from the highest levels of the US military. The timeline for the Golden Dome's implementation is notably aggressive. President Trump has stated his intention for the system to be operational by the end of his second term. This ambitious timeframe has raised eyebrows among analysts and defense experts. Given the technological complexities and the sheer scale of deployment required, meeting such a deadline will be a formidable challenge. The project involves integrating existing Pentagon programs with entirely new technologies, a process that typically requires extensive testing and refinement over many years. The urgency expressed highlights the administration's perception of an imminent and growing danger to national security. The Golden Dome is envisioned on a scale far exceeding previous missile defense efforts. It draws inspiration from Israel's successful Iron Dome system, which protects against short-range rockets. However, the Golden Dome aims to provide protection for the entire vast landmass of the United States, a significantly more complex task. The system will incorporate a multi-layered approach, utilizing land-based, sea-based, and critically space-based sensors and interceptors. This layered defense is intended to provide multiple opportunities to detect, track, and neutralize incoming threats at various stages of their trajectory, enhancing the overall probability of a successful interception. Technologically, the Golden Dome will rely on a sophisticated network of thousands of satellites. These satellites will be crucial for spotting and tracking missiles launched from anywhere on the globe. Once a threat is identified, interceptors, some of which will be stationed in orbit, will be deployed to neutralize it. The Defense Department has reportedly proposed 3 distinct options for the system's architecture, varying in scope: small, medium, and large. This suggests a phased approach, or perhaps adaptable configurations, depending on evolving threat assessments and budgetary realities. Major defense contractors like SpaceX, Lockheed Martin, and Raytheon are expected to play significant roles in developing and supplying these advanced components. Funding for such a colossal project is, predictably, a major point of discussion. An initial allocation of $25 billion has been proposed in a new budget bill by Republicans, though this is still pending congressional approval. President Trump has stated a total project cost of approximately $175 billion over a 3-year period. However, independent assessments paint a potentially far more expensive picture. The Congressional Budget Office estimates that a truly comprehensive system, particularly one with extensive space-based components, could cost over $500 billion, potentially reaching $542 billion, spread over 2 decades. Initial development and deployment costs could also be up to 20 times higher than the initial $25 billion figure over the long term. This ambitious initiative is also framed within the broader context of US defense modernization. There is a growing assessment within defense circles that American missile defense capabilities have not undergone significant fundamental changes in approximately 40 years. During this same period, potential adversaries have made considerable strides in developing more sophisticated and diverse missile arsenals. The Golden Dome, therefore, is presented as a necessary step to close this perceived gap and ensure that US defenses can keep pace with the evolving global threat landscape. It represents a commitment to leveraging cutting-edge technology to maintain a strategic advantage. The strategic rationale behind the Golden Dome project is deeply rooted in the current geopolitical climate. It is a direct response to what the US perceives as expanding missile threats and rapidly advancing capabilities from key global actors, specifically China, Russia, and North Korea. The Defense Intelligence Agency has issued warnings that these adversaries are actively developing offensive systems designed to exploit potential vulnerabilities in existing US defenses. This assessment of a growing and diversifying threat portfolio provides a strong impetus for a system as comprehensive as the Golden Dome, aiming to create a more robust and resilient defensive posture. Recent intelligence assessments concerning the arsenals of these nations further underscore the perceived urgency. It is estimated that China currently possesses around 400 intercontinental ballistic missiles, a number that has been steadily increasing. Russia is reported to have approximately 350 ICBMs, maintaining a formidable nuclear deterrent. North Korea, while having a smaller arsenal, is believed to possess a few ICBMs and continues its efforts to develop more advanced missile technology. The proliferation of these long-range capabilities, coupled with advancements in areas like hypersonic missiles, significantly fuels the drive for a more advanced US missile defense network. China's military growth in particular is a central factor. The announcement of the Golden Dome has, unsurprisingly, elicited varied international reactions. Notably, Canada has expressed a keen interest in potentially participating in the project. Former Canadian Defence Minister Bill Blair, during a visit to Washington, voiced support for the initiative, citing Canada's national interest in bolstering continental defence. This Canadian interest suggests an alignment on the perception of threats and a willingness to collaborate on large-scale security measures. Such partnerships could be vital for the effective deployment and operation of a system covering North American airspace, enhancing its overall reach and effectiveness. In stark contrast to Canada's positive reception, China has voiced serious concerns regarding the Golden Dome defense system. This reaction is predictable, as Beijing likely views the project as a move that could potentially neutralize its own strategic deterrent capabilities. A highly effective US missile shield could alter the strategic balance, diminishing the perceived threat posed by China's growing missile arsenal. This difference in reactions highlights the complex diplomatic and strategic chessboard upon which the Golden Dome project is being introduced. It signals potential for increased tensions as nations reassess their strategic postures in light of this new American initiative. The Golden Dome project represents far more than just a technological upgrade. It signifies a potentially profound shift in US defense strategy. By focusing on advanced, multi-layered missile interception capabilities that span land, sea and space, the initiative aims to achieve a level of protection previously considered unfeasible. If successful, even partially, it could fundamentally alter how the United States approaches national security and power projection. The emphasis on countering next-generation threats, including those from space, indicates a forward-looking strategy designed to address the anticipated evolution of warfare in the coming decades, moving beyond Cold War-era deterrence models. The sheer scale and ambition of the Golden Dome are likely to have significant repercussions for global military dynamics. On one hand, it could prompt US allies to seek similar protections or to enhance their own defense collaborations, potentially leading to new security alliances or strengthening existing ones like NATO. On the other hand, adversaries may view the system as destabilizing. This could lead them to accelerate their own offensive weapons development to overcome such a shield, potentially fueling a new and more complex arms race. The development of hypersonic weapons and counter-space capabilities by nations like China and Russia could intensify in response. While the project's announcement did not explicitly detail responses to specific ongoing global conflicts, its development occurs against a backdrop of heightened international instability. The mention of ongoing conflicts in the Middle East and other challenges facing Europe, such as the complexities surrounding Ukraine, underscores a volatile global security environment. A system like the Golden Dome could be seen as an American effort to insulate itself from these growing global uncertainties, thereby influencing NATO and European defense policies. European nations might feel compelled to reassess their own defense postures, considering how such a US-centric shield impacts collective security arrangements and their own strategic autonomy. Ultimately, the Golden Dome project, if it moves from concept to reality, stands to be a transformative development in international security. The substantial financial investment required will undoubtedly have wide-ranging economic implications, potentially affecting budget allocations for other domestic and international programs for years to come. More critically, it could reshape strategic calculations for nations across the globe, altering the delicate balance of deterrence and defense. The feasibility of overcoming the immense technological and financial hurdles remains a subject of intense debate, but the vision itself signals a bold new chapter in the quest for national security in an increasingly unpredictable world.